Welcome to the 3 Degrees of Freedom podcast, where we explore lifestyle engineering with our expert guests to bring you in alignment with your own 3 degrees of freedom, location, time, and financial independence. Hey everyone, this is Derek. I'm here on a special episode on my own because my wife and I just got back from spending 3 months in Japan because of the incredible location freedom that we've been able to enjoy over the last couple of years ever since leaving my full-time job. Now, the whole point of these in-between episodes is for me to distill some of the messy middle, some of the things that's been happening in between episodes while it seems like the world is churning and seems like there's been a lot of difficulties going on inside the world today. If that's you, don't worry, you are not alone. There are lots of people out there in my mastermind groups, people that are also real estate entrepreneurs, people that are in their own businesses, people that are even in W-2 jobs right now, having a difficult time with what's going on today. And it's very valid to feel this. I've been struggling with what to do with my life now that we have automated and sequenced everything that we have, and a bunch of new challenges have come up for us as well, related to finances, related to investments. Lots of interesting unfoldings with the softening of the real estate market has come up. The good news is that all of our properties and everything that we have going on right now is stabilized, but we do see that we're not able to meet our business plans as originally intended. And so some of these things we have to start to pivot. And in light of the recent visit to Japan, my wife and I spent a ton of time going into Japan and traveling. We really got the opportunity to live like someone in a different culture. And there's a ton of benefits for that. And this is another reason why it's super important, even during times like this, for you to really start to focus on why you can get yourself locationally independent or get any type of degree of freedom. Because the more freedom that you have, the more choices you have to make for yourself, the more ability you have to pick and choose what you want. So in Japan, there are 4 seasons in the year. And I'm also reminded from Jim Rohn back many years ago when I was first started getting into self-development and entrepreneurism and getting myself involved in all of these crazy side adventures, is that seasons come just like they do on planet Earth. They come in life as human beings. And there are good times, there are bad times, and there are in-between times of transition. And as seasons change, it's important to keep our head straight. Because if you're having a really bad time right now, things always get better with time. They always do. Because if they always got worse, then where would you be right now? They tend to get better. And the same thing is true when things are good. Things will eventually tighten up. Things will change, right? You end up coming into limits. And some of these things to think about is that finding these limits and finding out where you need to change is an opportunity of growth. But what I wanted to talk about today is that when you have these personal changing seasons going on inside of your mind and inside of your own personal situation, you need to have the perspective that things will unfold on their own. Obviously, you've got to do the work. I'm not saying that you can just sit back and sit there and then everything's going to change around you. You got to continue to persist. And if you continue to persist, eventually your personal winter will turn into spring. Spring brings a bunch of activity, possibilities, potentialities, right? A little bit of positivity. Summer is when things are in full bloom and everything is full steam ahead and everything is alive and out there, right? All the seeds that you planted in spring, based on the reflection of winter, which seeds you want to plant from winter into spring. Then in summer, they start to take root and they start to materialize. Then there's fall. Fall is the favorite of all of the seasons to me. It's when you get to harvest. All of the work that you put in for the whole year, right? The reflection of winter, the planting of seeds in spring, and then the growth experienced in summer. Fall is the time to harvest all of that. And then naturally, there is a winter that follows. And in winter, you get the opportunity to watch everything wither and die around you. But at the same time, it's a process of renewal. And when Sophie and I went to Japan, that's what we saw. We enjoyed our trip to Japan and had an autumn or a fall out in Japan. We were enjoying the fruits of our labor and getting so far, right, in all of our business. But now, it's no secret out there that in many ways, even though it is blazing hot at the time of this recording, it's the middle of July in the south of the United States in 2023, and we're posting record temperatures, right? It's been in the hundreds for over 3 weeks in a row now here, which is very interesting. And even though it's hot outside, there is a winter in our personal lives. There are a bunch of choices that we have to make. Which seeds are we going to plant? How are we going to move forward? But if you can embrace the fact that there is a life cycle, a natural life cycle that goes along with all of these, right? And you're in your winter, that the natural consequence of a winter means that there's going to be a spring, a summer, and then another fall. And so I wanted to also point out here that if you can keep that perspective, then it's going to maybe help you moving forward to make the right choices, to plant the right seeds. I don't know what that is for you, but for me, I have 4 or 5 different opportunities in front of me. We have a situation right now where we need to take action on, but I don't know which way to go. I know that I'm eventually going to find out in talking with mastermind partners, the network around me, my incredible spouse, and then just some self-reflection. And that happens with everyone all the time. At least I hope so it does. If it isn't, then I recommend that you get that support system in place right away. I'm also reminded of a proverb in China that's called "The Old Man Who Lost His Horse." And this proverb has to do with gratitude and cause and effect, and some of the things that I feel really strong about as a practicing Buddhist along with my wife. And I wanted to share that proverb with you here today. So I'm just going to go ahead and read out aloud a popular interpretation of it. And it goes something like this. A farmer and his son had a beloved stallion who helped the family earn a living. And one day the horse ran away, and their neighbors exclaimed, "Your horse ran away. What terrible luck." And the farmer replied, maybe not. We'll see." A few days later, the horse returned home, leading a few wild mares back to the farm as well. The neighbors shouted out, "Your horse has returned and brought several horses home with him. What great luck." And the farmer replied, maybe not. We'll see." Later that week, the farmer's son was trying to break one of the mares, and she threw him to the ground, breaking his leg. The villagers then cried, "My gosh, your son broke his leg. What terrible luck." And the farmer replied, maybe not. We'll see." A few weeks later, soldiers from the National Army marched through town, recruiting all of the able-bodied men for the army and conscripted them. The farmer's son, however, wasn't conscripted because he was still recovering from his injury. And his neighbors shouted, "Your boy is spared. What tremendous luck." To which the farmer replied, maybe not. We'll see." And so I thought that was a beautiful story for you to be able to reflect back and understand, too, that even though things may seem hard right now, they may actually be a blessing for you in disguise later on. One last piece of advice here that Sophie and I have been practicing more and more each day, especially me, is that along with patience, there's gratitude. And if you can understand that patience is there when you move through winter, spring, summer, and fall, you'll know that you just have to move along with those changes. But what will help tie everything all together is gratitude. Because I want you to keep in mind that there are people out there that are just trying to survive. Here we are in the United States or in the developed world, in Canada, North America, Europe, and we have the ability to work on something that will enhance our lives and enhance our wealth and make it easier for us to live an even easier life the way we have it now. Just remember, there are people out there in different parts of the world who are struggling and just need to work 15 hours a day just to pay rent, or walk for 8 hours with water on top of their head to get it back to their family so they have something to drink. So it's important to keep the perspective and key and the gratitude at a high level, because with lots of gratitude and with lots of patience comes a ton of spiritual energy and positivity. And that is how we move the needle through a winter. So I hope that this was a message for you in a timely place and time where maybe you needed it. And it's just something that I feel is happening right now that just needs to be said, because I'm experiencing it right now along with you, and it's part of the messy middle. So please go out there, hug your family, give yourself some patience and some grace. Yes, you're going through a winter. Take action. Continue to take action. Don't just sit there. But understand that there's perspective in all of this, right? And eventually things change. They always do. Change is constant. And I just hope that you remember that going forward as much as I do. And part of the reason why I record podcasts like this is because sometimes it takes me doing something like this for me to incorporate it myself in my own psyche. I've been hearing about it, right? I've been practicing it in little bits and pieces, but something like this, where you tie the narrative all together and hear it in one long swoop, can help you really understand what's really happening here and what we really should be grateful for and patient for. So hopefully that's helpful. And please enjoy the rest of your week or weekend, wherever you're listening to this or wherever you're watching it. And I will see you guys next time. Take care.